Hello, welcome to Guidance Post. I'm M. Everett K, your host, and today I want to talk to you about when something feels like it's ending. We usually know, right? Not always immediately, not always dramatically, not always with a lightning bolt from the sky telling us this is wrong and you need to go or you need to look at this situation. But somewhere inside us, somewhere inside the body, somewhere beneath all of our explanations, the excuses, the hopes, and negotiations, we usually know when something has started to feel off. Our relationship begins to feel flat. A job begins to feel lifeless. A living situation starts to feel too small. A path you once chose with clarity and certainty starts to feel like a hallway with no air left in it. And in those moments, a growth opportunity appears. But most of us miss it. Not because we are foolish, not because we are weak, but because we are still attached to what the experience used to be. We are still hoping that the situation, that the experience will still correct itself. We hope the relationship will go back to the version that felt alive. We hope the job will become meaningful once again. We hope the school, the home, the friendship, the role, the dream will somehow return to what we thought it was or what we thought it should become. Or maybe more honestly, what we still want it to be, what we still need it to be. So instead of asking the true questions, we wait. We wait for the feeling to pass. We wait for the other person to change. We wait for the environment to improve itself. We wait for the spark to come back. We wait for the discomfort to explain itself in a way that does not require us to move or to change. And sometimes the discomfort is temporary. Sometimes we're just tired. Sometimes we're just hungry. Sometimes we are grieving, stressed, overstimulated, or afraid. Sometimes misalignment is just a one-day wobble, and we get over it and things do go back to normal. But sometimes it is not. Sometimes the flatness stays. Sometimes the body keeps telling us the truth, even after the mind has built an entire legal defense for staying. And that is the moment where the opportunity appears. Not the opportunity to panic, not the opportunity to burn everything down with vengeance and anger, not the opportunity to blame, accuse, dramatize, or flee the situation or the experience. The opportunity is to tell the truth, to pause and to ask yourself, what did I originally want from this experience? What did I originally expect from this relationship, from this job, from the place that I'm living, from the situation that I am in? And am I still receiving that now? Am I staying because there is life here, or because I'm afraid to grieve the leaving and leaving behind what I wanted, what I thought this was going to be, what I hoped it would be? And then another question, when did this begin to feel like it was finished, like it was over, like there was really nothing else to extract from it? What signs did I ignore? What am I hoping will still return? Am I responding to what this is now, or am I still loyal to what it used to be? What would I see clearly if I stopped defending those attachments to it? And maybe the hardest question of all, what is my next true move? Because sometimes the next true move is not dramatic at all. Sometimes it's just a conversation. Sometimes it's a boundary. Sometimes it is rest. Sometimes it's a new agreement or a new boundary being set. Sometimes it's giving the experience one honest chance to meet the truth and see if this experience is what I thought it was going to be, what you thought it was going to be, what you wanted it to be, what you need it to be, right? But sometimes painfully, the next true move is it's time to move on. And that does not mean the experience failed. It means the experience has completed. And that is a very different thing. A completed experience can still hurt. A completed lesson can still make you grieve. A completed season can still leave silence behind. But when we recognize completion, while we are still inside the experience, we can move sooner and move cleaner and have less emotional attachment when we do move on. But not necessarily without the pain, but with less confusion, less bargaining, less second guessing ourselves, less residual grief from abandoning ourselves for too long and staying in an experience or a situation that we knew should have ended for us, for our benefit. Sometimes the deeper grief comes from realizing that we knew it ended earlier. We felt the flatness. We noticed the quiet ending. We sensed life leaving the room. And instead of listening to that, we kept hoping the room would become what it used to be. That is why alignment questions matter. They help us stop outsourcing our clarity to time. If I give it more time, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get better. Hopefully it'll get better. Why is this not getting better? These questions help us stop asking the universe why something ended when our own body had been giving us the answers for months. So the self-questions help us stop treating a completed lesson like it is an unfinished path that we must finish no matter what. So the practice is really simple. When something feels off, do not immediately make a life-changing decision, but do not dismiss the signal either. Pause. Ask the questions. Look at the pattern, not just the moment. Is this a temporary wobble, or is this a consistent loss of life and excitement? Or is this discomfort asking for some sort of repair? Or is it asking to be released? Because we usually know when something is ending. The work is learning how to honor the knowing before the ending becomes damage. You do not need to leave everything the moment it feels uncomfortable, but you do not need to stay somewhere just because it once felt right. The work is learning to honor the knowing before the ending becomes damage. Sometimes the most sovereign sentence we can say is, "This mattered, this taught me, and now it is complete."